The Informer Media Group retraces the journey of Jayesh Saini, a suave entrepreneur with a vast interest cutting across the healthcare industry and running multiple healthcare facilities. He is the chairman of the Bliss Healthcare, founder and chairman of Life Care Hospitals and Group, Nairobi West Hospital, Clinics Healthcare Limited and Pharma Investment Holdings, an offshore company. Besides having inscribed an indelible mark within the health industry and contributing to revolutionary healthcare technologies, Jayesh operations in the country have also over time been marred by praise and controversies in equal measure. He was first thrust to the limelight in 2012 when the National Assembly Parliamentary Health Committee blew off the lid into the 4.2 billion shillings civil servants medical cover scheme by the National Hospital Insurance Fund NHIF, infamously known as the clinic scandal. The then Parliamentary Health Committee, chaired by Dr. Robert Monda, termed the offshore ownership of Clinics Healthcare Limited as an Anglo-leasing-style corruption scheme, even as it emerged that NHIF paid 91.3 million shillings to outlets that did not exist in the time the facility was awarded a contract under the NHIF Civil Servants Medical Scheme. Monda said that the real face behind the healthcare enterprise was one Jayesh Saini, associated with the Nairobi West Hospital. Specifically, the committee was investigating allegations of irregularities in identification of service providers under the capitation scheme, raising questions on concerns on registration and licensing of facilities, medical staff, and generally the capacity by the health providers to offer healthcare services. During the then long-running probe, records tabled before the House Committee revealed that, at the time, clinics had 71 clinics countrywide, 49 of which were opened after the healthcare firm had signed a contract with the NHIF to provide outpatient services under the civil servant scheme. Some 28 new outlets were established between April and May 2, 2012. Documents presented before committee by now folded hospital chain showed that Clinics Healthcare was owned 99% by Anthony Shako through Pharma Investments, which is incorporated in the British Virgin Island, described by the team as one of the world's most notorious financial secrecy jurisdictions and tax havens. The remaining 1% is held by G1 De Brol through Beneficial Limited, which is registered in Kenya. Further, the committee concluded that the hospital chain lacks the human resource and technical capacity to provide healthcare services to the 56,744 principal members who chose the hospital chain as their preferred medical service provider under the state-funded scheme for all public servants, after a preliminary site visit to its Samia and Daystar at River Clinics. A list of funds disbursed to health facilities for the period between January and March under the capitation scheme shows Clinics Healthcare Eldoret Bay as having received 4,075,830 shillings, yet the facility was licensed to begin operations on March 16th. Allocations were given to ghost clinics and this constitute fraud, Monda added. Then Clinics CEO Zach Madana told members of the health committee that the firm received 202,161,137.50 shillings from NHIF on March 13th as capitation for January to March, the first quarter. At the time, Madana told MPs the firm had invested more than 700 million shillings in its 71 facilities countrywide and were awaiting clearance from the Medical Practitioners and Dentist Board to open 28 more branches. The committee resolved that the scheme was meant to cover up to real owners of the major shareholding company in clinics. The scandal saw controversies on NHIF leadership affected by the then Medical Service Minister Anyang' Nyong'o, who is the current Kisumu County Governor. Clinics Healthcare Limited was also a listed approved health service provider under the Parliamentary Service Commission medical scheme. Last year, NHIF CEO Peter Kamunyo said the fund loses 10 billion every year through fraudulent claims, and out of the 61 billion collected from formal, informal sector and sponsored members in 2020-2021 financial year, more than 91% was paid out to claims from the hospital across the country, amounting to 54 billion shillings. According to recordings, NHIF has 7,666 healthcare providers empaneled held by NHIF, including 5,833 government facilities, which make up to 75% of the providers, 1,619 private hospitals, representing 21% healthcare providers, and 314 faith-based facilities, 4%. Also, NHIF operates 156 service points across the country, comprising of 70 branch offices, 33 satellite offices and service desks, and counters in all 53 Huduma centers. Currently, NHIF covers more than 23 million Kenyans, with 10.1 million being principal contributors, and the rest are dependents, including spouses and children. In 2017, former NHIF boss Richard Kerich was acquitted by Nairobi court alongside two former directors who had been charged with abuse of office and defrauding NHIF 96 million shillings. In her ruling, the then Milimani senior principal magistrate Martha Mutuku ruled that the prosecution failed to prove the case against the three beyond reasonable doubts. In her judgment, the court noted that the prosecution did not tender evidence to show that the accused persons abused their office while signing the said tender documents to Clinics Healthcare. The court ruled that the accused had no role in awarding the tender. In October last year, Nairobi West, one of the budding medical facilities in the city, launched the first bone marrow transplant in the country to provide a broad range of integrated and patient-centric services for the management of all kinds of blood disorders in both adults and children, including cancers of blood, dubbed the Bone Marrow Transplant Unit. According to the records, Bliss Healthcare, a subsidiary of Nairobi West Hospital, serves clients from all segments including Teachers Service Commission TSC, National Health Insurance Fund NHIF, Kenya Revenue Authorities KRA, insurance companies, and direct walk-in clients. Stanley Lugaria, the informer, uncovering the truth.